Talk That Talk TV, we back again.
Welcome to Talk That Talk Media, where the vibe is live. DJ and Tika are hype, keeping dreams alive. Welcome to Talk That Talk Media, where the vibe is live. DJ and Tika are hype, keeping dreams alive. Bringing you reactions, reviews and slick recaps. Join the conversation, no time for mishaps. Trends will uncover, every beat devoured with fresh insights and energy will never tire. From pop culture to the latest in the game, dive in with us. You want to stake your claim, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Talk That Talk Media. Welcome to Talk That Talk Media.
Hey, what's good? What's good? What is good? Hello, everyone. Welcome to Talk That Talk Media. I am Tika Deshawn.
And it's your girl, EJ.
Absolutely. And we have our resident horror historian in the building, Miss Kay Bly of Slice of Horror. What's good, Kay?
Hey, y'all. Look, I came ready today. Finally found this
Girl, that
book. Look at this
big book. Oh, jeez. No wonder. And then they had the nerve to break it down to 3 hours. Oh my God. That was just the second one. The first one was another 2.5, 3 hours? Oh my God.
This book is over 1,000 pages, y'all. It's insane.
I ain't gonna be able to do it.
44 hours on Audible.
Crazy.
That still sound. How many you say on Audible, EJ?
44.
Yeah, too many. I'll just stick with the movies. But shout out to Stephen King for doing his thing. Initial reaction to chapter 2 of it. And we'll go ahead and start with Kay and then EJ. Let us know your initial thoughts and reactions.
I went to see this one in theaters. And I actually remember I went to see it by myself. I went to the movies to see this movie in theaters by myself, and I liked it. I appreciated seeing the adult Stephen King had his little cameo in the movie. We got some backstory of the entity of Pennywise, and that was a nice little wrap up to see everyone going from living their adult successful lives and then getting that phone call that's like, yeah, hey, y'all remember me? It's time to come home. And then us being able to see the story go full circle.
Absolutely. And EJ, of course, thoughts. Because, girl, this thing right here gave me I got an extra crook in my neck, honey, from jumping so much. I ain't going to even lie to you.
I'm done with it. I'm done with Pennywise. I'm done with all of it. I'm over it.
Keep in mind, y'all, she recommended this. I'm just saying.
Just gonna keep bringing that up, huh?
Yes. Oh my God. But it was cool to watch. For those of y'all that missed it, we did do a watch in the Discord. So maybe next time we do a watch, you guys will be tapped in and be able to join us for whatever. Hopefully it's nothing with the whole neck twister thing. Okay, I don't know if my neck can take it anymore. But, with that being said, it's absolutely always fun to do something different, to do something outside of the box, as they say for me. And so I just want to start by saying thank you to everyone who are tapping in, tuning in from all the various channels. Just thank you guys so much for being here. If you're over on my channel, All Things Ruthless, please, if you can, head on over here to Talk That Talk Media so that you will be able to be a part of the conversation. And, again, just thank you guys for being here. And we're going to go ahead and get on into it because this movie was literally 3 hours. And keep in mind, I literally watched it 4.5 times to make sure I kind of brought you guys the right story because it's a part 1 and a part 2 and it's a lot anyway. So with that being said, we start this episode off. Listen, see, I'm so Siri-fied already. I'm so into Siri so much. But with that being said, y'all, we start this whole thing off where they kind of go back or they revisit the moment where Bev she basically is pulled up to the light, like the headlight. What? Yeah, of course I wrote it down, but she sees the light basically, and in a nutshell, in seeing this light, she's actually able to see the future, but they don't tell us that on the previous movie. They wait until we get here and let us know that Bev was able to see the future or the past. She was able to see all of the things before they actually come to light. And so they kind of take us back, like I said, to September of 1989, and they're saying this is where they make the commitment that when it all goes down to it, in 27 years, if this ish shall pull up again, we promise, we do solemnly swear to pull up and do what we need to do to get rid of this darn entity. And listen, I already said this. Y'all will be on your own 27 years from now. Nah, cut or no cut, I'm not coming. K, EJ, which one of y'all pulling up first to the party? Show that. Right. I feel that.
No, you promised you got to come back.
I had my fingers crossed behind my back. I told y'all what happened.
You promised. Come on, come right on back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tinker might have promised. I promise you, I had my fingers crossed.
Tinker promised she wasn't coming. Y'all. That's what Tinker promised.
Who gonna protect the children? Because y'all know the adults in dairy raggedy, and ain't nobody else gonna do that. They gonna let a whole nother cycle go by with all these kids missing. Y'all got to know
my kids are grown. And
you know my motto.
Fuck them kids. Yep. Oh my God. Okay, y'all. I'm for real though. Because this was a lie. But with that being said, we move into 27 years later, and we see where there's this first incident of it reappearing. There's I'm gonna just go on and call it a hate crime, and then oh boy ends up getting tossed into the water, and he's saved partially by it. Only thing he's saved from being drowned, but other than that, he's not really saved because he ends up getting snatched up, and his boyfriend is like, he's not sure if he saw what he saw. But then we see like 1,000 and something balloons, and they never tell us whether or not his boyfriend actually made it. But I'm gonna just assume with all those balloons, homeboy didn't make it. And I hate it for him. But with that being said, we see where Mike Hanlon, the one who said he was leaving to go somewhere else, moving to Florida, this man has basically lived in dairy for 20 plus years, 27 plus years, to basically wait for this freaking entity. It was giving me Jeepers Creepers when he, that's what it was giving. Like, you literally stayed in this community where you lost your parents, you lost a lot of things, you almost lost your life. But any thoughts, y'all, on Mike Hanlon? And we can start with EJ. Any thoughts on Mike, staying around for the big show?
Bump Mike. This is crazy. Mike should have went to Florida like everybody else went to go live their life. You gonna just sit around here and just wait. Sir, you ain't got no ties here, none whatsoever. So why are we even still here? That baffled the hell out of me. I said, so everybody else just left. Now we could say that this was, selfless of him and all that type of stuff, but it ain't. It's stupid. Period. Stupid.
Right.
Sorry, Mike. That's how I felt.
Ma'am.
Hmm?
Why you gotta do Mike like that? Why you gotta do Mike like that? Mike have a history with dairy. He got a history, and he said, all right, somebody got to stay in here and do what's necessary. He got a history. Okay. So somebody had to stay and do their research to figure out what's really going on and make sure that the losers keep their promise.
Why it had to be the black man?
I was just gonna say, now maybe it didn't have to be the black guy, but like he had to be there because Leroy be out here protecting people and stuff like that. I guess he felt like this is in his bloodline. Like he come from a good lineage. It's like he got to do the right thing. Somebody got to do the right thing.
I guess.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, he stayed. He stayed. He a king of kings, absolutely. But I'll be there, and if it's gonna be me, that's all I'm saying.
Okay, somebody else would have had to volunteer for that
But
gig. Oh, we was
salute
gonna have
to that man. That's all I can
tag
say, y'all.
tag.
I think we got some freezage over here, so y'all just bear with me, bear with us, because I see some things twirling. But we here. We're gonna keep going. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all ladies hear me? Okay, cool. All I saw was spin. You know how we do over here in StreamYard. But then we we meet Bill. And Bill was the primary character. All of them are primary characters, but he was the one whose brother, Georgie, poor Georgie, ends up getting unalived. Because he didn't want to go outside and play with him. Because that's how he's doing it. He's blaming himself for what happened to his brother. But his brother, Georgie, was one of his known victims of it. And in this new life that Bill has right now, Bill is a writer. So he's writing in his book, but then he's also on set and he has a wife. And why his wife kind of looked like Bev, but I was like, okay, that's not Bev. But, he has this life, and all of a sudden, we're going to see in a moment, but all of a sudden, he's going to receive a phone call. But any particular thoughts on the life that Bill had made for himself? We can go EJK.
The only thing I thought about was this should have been Mike. Mike should have been somewhere living his best life. Instead, we got Bill out here. Don't stutter no more. No, seriously, I thought about the dude that played in that movie it was that weird movie where that's literally what I thought about when I saw that. Can't remember what it was, but he was crazy in it. And I was like, oh, this who they gonna get to play Bill?
Oh, you talking about Split?
Yeah, that show.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I thought about when I saw this. But yeah, other than that, I was like, okay, Bill out here living his best life, writing books with bad endings, but okay. But what is to be expected? I probably would write bad endings too, because it's probably more realistic in his mind than what other people are thinking. How people think stuff is supposed to end, and for him. But then again, he can't remember ish. Why he like this? I don't know, girl. That's what I thought about, though. I'm sorry. That's exactly what I thought.
I like James McAvoy. Okay. If I see a movie and he in it, I'm gonna watch it. I love James McAvoy. And he was, and I love to see that he became a writer, but you can see where where in each of them there's still a little piece of trauma that's suppressed. So although they was able to go and live a good life, none of them have children, and Bill is writing these books, but he doesn't know why he's writing all these sci-fi horror novels. The stories are just coming to him like the glow and the light. But he don't know he doesn't know why all of these stories are coming to him, but they are. Right. Because of that memory that everybody was happy and fine until Mike called them. They was living their life, but it's a piece of in every single one of them though, where the trauma is peeking through. And that's what happens with repressed trauma is even though you might not be conscious of it, it was coming out in them stories that he wasn't even thinking of, that he wasn't consciously aware he was processing the horrors of Pennywise, but he was writing some books and they was taking some jabs at Stephen King and the endings in there, a little bit, throwing some shots out.
Absolutely. And of course, y'all, I liked seeing that he had actually started a life, though. I was glad he wasn't somewhere, down and depressed. He was working. He was, maybe that was his look as they came. He was getting it off of his chest, in other words. So for him to be that writer, for Bill to be that writer, especially, he literally had the most traumatic experience. So to see he came out with some sense of normalcy, but we're going to find out why everybody is kind of normal until they get that phone call, because we end up meeting Eddie, and Eddie damn near wrecked his car once he got the phone call. But we also see that Eddie is some type of inspector, which is he kind of, they kind of hinted on him doing that as a child. Like, what are the codes and what are the regulations? Like, he was doing all those things, but he ended up marrying somebody who was literally just like his mama, who was abusive, who had him on medication that he really didn't need, but she was just as depressive. Like, she was worse. She was just as bad as his mama, y'all. I hate to say it. No, I don't. She was overbearing. She was doing the most as a wife, but that's who he married. He married someone who was literally just like his mother. Kay, any particular thoughts on Eddie Kasprick?
Oh yes, I wish he would have left the hypochondriac life behind in Derry. But again, even though he's successful, got his nice suit on, and ended up finding someone who was just like his mom. And now they did It Chapter 2 a little bit different from the 1990s version, because when we talk about like some of the characters, they're when they went away, stories is a little bit different. But I just find it funny that even though he's doing well in life, he still got somebody that's kind of being overbearing. You know, and I bet you his mama like her. Because you know how she was like hating on Beverly. There's something that tells me that his mom likes this girl here. Some tells me she approves.
Because she's just like her. Okay. But I want EJ to talk about Richie, because Richie had all the jokes. He had but he was just as scary. He's still wearing his same glasses, but we find out that Richie ends up becoming a comedian. Like, and it kind of suits him, because as a child, he was giving, he was clowning people, giving all the jokes and all of the things. So, it doesn't surprise me that this, this is what he became in life. But unfortunately, once again, we talking about a phone call that happens. And all you gotta listen, don't call me from Derry, Maryland. Don't call me, or Maine. Don't call me from Maine at all. 201 was it 207 area code? Don't even do it, because I'm getting sick instantly. And that's literally what happens to him. But again, to see he have a small amount of normalcy in his life, I was surprised. What you think about Richie, EJ?
Girl, a hot mess. But this didn't surprise me that he became a comedian. It didn't surprise me that this is his life, because I mean, this is how he deals with everything. But again, each one of them still has this. It's funny, because apparently they don't really remember like growing up here and all these things. But when they see this number and this main thing, they get triggered by it. And they somehow just trusted Mike enough to come back, but you don't even really remember him like that. I just thought it was interesting.
Yeah, it baffled me. That was one of my questions. I'm like, if you don't remember where you grew up, why is there so much anxiety at the name of, or the number even popping up on your phone? So somewhere there's what it calls suppressed memory down somewhere in the back, that they know they came from somewhere, and they knew some things happened. They just can't literally recall every single moment that they dealt with, or every little tragedy that they dealt with. But sexy, fine, okay. Little Chunky Ben is no longer Little Chunky Ben, okay? He is the handsome, the engineer, the architect, Ben Hanscom. And EJ, or Kay and EJ can both, address your thoughts on him, because like I said, he became that architect, started a life. But the one thing that he did keep from Derry, and he don't know why he kept it, but he has his note, that piece of paper that was signed in his yearbook from Beverly. So, I forgot what order I said. Y'all could go here, but any thoughts on Ben?
I thought he was handsome. I said, okay, Ben, look at Ben with his cute self. And the fact that he became an architect was just, it was just smart. I mean, it made sense. I mean, Ben's the guy. And the fact that he still had that note, I thought that was so cute, because we know that Ben loved him some dog on Beverly. He wrote her that doggone poem. And I'm still mad at her. Like, how you gonna not know who wrote the poem? Like, I would have been on a mission trying to find out Ember, like using all them words. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, come on. But I love this. I just love the fact that he turned into like he just blossomed. He just came from a caterpillar to a butterfly. It's just beautiful.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, Ben said he finna get out of here and glow up, and did, because he said, "What? The next time I see Bev, that's gonna be it right there. She ain't gonna see this little chubby kid no more. She when she see me this time, she gonna know what's up. She ain't
Right.
you ain't gonna be not this. He got him a good job, got some good checks coming in. He said he been taking care of himself, still listening to New Kids on the Block. You know, when ain't nobody paying attention. Got that note. He said that's okay. Whenever I run into her again, it's gonna be on. It's what it is. And I'm glad that he didn't kind of sit in that and like take a dive downhill. He said, I'm gonna use what happened. I'm gonna just make good with myself. He had another raggedy mama that I'm glad they didn't have to go in with her because she seemed like an enabler. Hopefully he left her ass in dairy.
That part.
Yeah, that part. But and also, yeah, again, they're gonna show us like as the movie progresses some of the things that we didn't realize, like him building that whole man cave or the loser's cave. Like he did that on his own. He saw it already kind of put together, and he just made it to where there was a post. So they had their own little clubhouse, and that's what he was telling this group of people, like there should be more room in this particular building that you guys are actually creating. There should be it should be a clubhouse. And again, that memory is somewhere in his mind, and all he could think of is that letter is what's actually keeping him connected to Derry. He just right now don't know why it's connecting him, but I was happy to see him. That's all. With that, we end up seeing Stanley, y'all, and unfortunately, Stanley gets shocked. Like he receives that phone call. Matter of fact, Stanley was literally living his best life, planning to go on a vacation with his wife, up there putting puzzle pieces together. No sign of depression, no sign of sadness, nowhere. And he gets this phone call, and he's like, "Are you sure? Are you sure the others are going to show up?" Like he was not excited at all about this phone call, y'all. And then unfortunately, he ends up doing the inevitable. And Kay, what were your thoughts on Stanley? Oh my God, poor Stanley.
He was scared. Y'all remember he was the skeptic out of the group. Right. All of the losers had an experience with Pennywise. And then remember, he was the last one to see it. He was the one trying to rationalize it. It's not what y'all think it is. It's got to be another explanation. And he was the one that was the most terrified of this because his brain wasn't processing the true nature of something supernatural happening because it hit him last. Because think about it, if somebody comes and like they're telling you these things like right now, a lot of people are like, yeah, I'm sure it's something else, y'all are just making up stuff. Like in his mind, his brain did not have room for paranormal activity,
right?
And so when it hit him, he didn't process it well at all. And then when they do the flashbacks and things, we see a little bit more of like how terrified Stanley really was of Pennywise. He was terrified. Right. And remember, as children, they didn't have anybody to talk to. They had none of the adults were there for them. Nobody was protecting them. They had nobody but each other, the losers. Right. And that's it. That's a lot to put on a child. That's a lot to tell a child. There is a murderous clown that will haunt you to the ends of the earth, and there's nothing that you can do about it. That it's inevitable. It's going to get you, and your parents aren't going to protect you from it. And then you go on your life and you live your happy, merry life, and then the scariest thing in the world is there again. That's like people in the zombie apocalypse when the zombies come all in the house, and they're like, I got one bullet left. It's not enough to kill all the zombies. I'll just take myself. You know what I'm saying? Like they have the fear is so there that it's just like, I can't face Pennywise again. And I understand he was other than the losers, who's gonna believe him? Who's gonna believe him?
You're right.
Or
Nobody.
who's even gonna help? Who's gonna help him?
Nobody, baby. Yeah. Oh, Stanley. Oh, Stan the man. But you know what confused me though? Like I was like, so when they got this phone call, because when they got there, they all acted like they had no clue of why they were being called there and what the pact was. But Stanley immediately was frozen with fear, and it's like he knew, and I just didn't understand it. Like I've been trying to piece together why some people, why they thought they were coming there for one reason, like because they acted like they were surprised, and then why Stan went to this level of fear. Like I noticed that all of them like had a moment, but not like Stan. Like it was like Stan knew and remembered, but I thought all of them had forgot.
Is it possible that he kept his fear still remained with him, even though like all those years, like because he was literally afraid and he was also skeptic, like Kay said. But is it possible, Kay, that he literally kept that fear with him and just didn't say, like you said, who's he gonna tell? And just didn't really say anything about it?
Or to the point where it's all good until it ain't. If you know you afraid of rats, it's fine when you live in an environment where you know you ain't never gonna see them. It ain't never gonna come across your mind. It is the possibility is never there until somebody invites you somewhere where you know they're gonna be at.
Right.
So you think he remembered it?
I think in that moment it came to him quicker than the others, because he was his fear was more than the others. Remember, Stanley was only brave because of them. And remember, Stanley got attacked. Remember in chapter 1, Pennywise had him in the shape of like that person from the pit. Pennywise literally had its whole mouth on top of Stan's head.
Yeah,
he was literally being attacked. Stanley's bravery only came at a convenience to where he was with everybody else. Because if nobody was around, he would have been gone in that second, because Pennywise literally had him. He had him.
Yeah.
So he wasn't true. He didn't have any bravery at all, because out of all of them, he was the one that actually would have got the most.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. And then the way that it plays so many games with them anyway, I could see him like having the full memory of what it was, because, you know, if Pennywise is really able to do what I'm believing it's able to do, then yeah, I would allow him to remember it too. Like if that's like how this works, because I don't know how this works. But if somehow, some way, if I were going to let anybody recall a repressed memory at this moment, it would be him, because I know he would be the weakest link and he would just do what he would do it. Like, I get it. Okay, I get it. I didn't get it.
Would you go to a haunted house with your friends, or would you go to one? Would you walk through it by yourself?
Yeah, you know, I ain't going no damn. I'm not going with y'all.
Say we are not doing that.
The thing is, Stan didn't want to do either. Anyway, he only was in there because of them. He was only in there because of them, and he's the one that ended up getting attacked. They didn't get attacked by Pennywise in the way that he did. It literally had his mouth over his face.
That's true.
That's horrific to experience. That he was literally in the process of being eaten.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yep. Damn, Stan. But yeah, we that's great explanation too. And it's a great question and a great explanation as to why Stan had more fear, or he was more aware than what the others were. So we finally get to see Molly Ringwald. I know that's not Molly Ringwald, but she's giving me Molly Ringwald, Breakfast Club. I love it. But we see Bev, and she again is another one that literally married someone just like her father. You know, abusive, all of the things, mean-hearted, possessive. You're not going anywhere. But she also has this dream, and it's almost as if when Stan is doing what he's doing, and that his blood literally drops on the floor, it's almost as if it dropped on her face. And I don't know if she was having some type of vision or if her husband had just literally did something to her to make her have bad dreams. But she was seeing, she was seeing a lot of the things that had taken place, and that was stuck in her memory. But she was another one, and you can see the little cut in her hand that shows, hey, you made this mark for a reason. And then just like everybody else, she gets the call in the middle of the night and she's ready to bounce. She's one of the ones that's like, okay, I know I'm going there for something, not quite sure, but I know there's a reason why I'm going there. Of course, her husband, just like her father, tries to stop her from doing what it is that she needs to do, gets physical with her, and she has to lay his behind out too. And I was like, yes, girl, get him. So EJ and then Kay, thoughts on Bev?
Yeah, Bev was the only one who saw them lights. So, it is what it is. I guess that's the reason why she's seeing all the things. But I thought it was interesting seeing her as an adult and then seeing her have the same type of partner, and the way that they flipped it on us, because he seemed like he was going to be cool. Because I remember when we were looking at it, I was like, oh, I like him. And then right in the next few seconds, I was like, oh, hell no, I don't like him, because dude just flipped in 1 second. And it doesn't shock me that someone who's gone through the type of abuse that Bev has found, that she would find someone who would be similar. I don't know what they call it, but, sometimes people just, find the same types of trauma. So I was just happy she fought back. That's what I cared about. I was like, okay, go ahead and fight back. And I love that. I love that she fought back. I love that she was willing to go straight there. Again, another one, didn't hesitate, just got to go. It's the middle of the night. I got to go. Like, Mike calls, I got to go. Don't nobody even really remember Mike. Mike who? Oh, yep. Here Mike I come, Mike knows. Like, nobody knows, but okay, I'm coming. But yeah, I thought this was interesting, and I thought it was important for them to show the type of people that each one of them had become based off of the things that they had went through when they were young.
Right.
Oh, definitely. I wonder how many times that her and that man got into it before she fought back. Because the way he was seeming, like the way he was bucking up at her, like she wasn't gonna do something until she like got him good that one time. Was that phone call what you needed to fight back all this time? Like, I want to know, like, was this the first time she said, all right, that's enough, because you're not gonna stop me from getting to my losers? And was you just like taking it from this jerk all of this time until it was like, oh yeah, now I kind of remember a little bit of who I am. Right. Let me get him out of the way so I can do because she was not going to let him stop her, because he seemed like the type that he done stopped her from doing a whole lot of things. And she said, but not this time.
Right. Yep. She got her out, and I was happy that she did leave, because the way he was acting, who knows how much further that situation would have gone. And had she not defended herself this time around, how much further would she even be here to go kick it with the losers and go fight another darn demon? Because she got a demon in her house and a demon out there, or an entity out there in the world that she has to go and deal with. So she was fearless, though, regardless of, she was the one with the least fear. She didn't have the anxiety that a couple of them that I saw them have. Like, she wasn't like anxious or like afraid. She was like, okay, I'm coming, so. Shout out to Bev, but we can't forget about Henry Bowers, y'all. Henry done slaughtered the town, has been arrested, locked up in the loony bin. Is that a disrespectful word? He's locked up in Derry healthcare facility.
And Derry, I doubt that there's any real healthcare happening.
Okay. Okay.
You call that one what you want to, because I doubt they're doing anything to help anybody in Derry. That's the whole a nut house there. Ain't no real therapy taking place in that place. Look at how he looked. Do it look like he's been rehabilitated? At all?
Not at all. Not at all. But we see Henry. He's still seeing that red balloon. It has his mind literally under all forms of control, and It's the damn red balloon. And how is Patrick? What is his name? I forgot his name. Anyway, we're gonna get to that. But I'm like, how the hell you get somebody driving that's dead? But anyway, we'll get there.
That was funny. I laughed at that part.
But he sees the entity and then he turns up and he pulls this red balloon. I didn't give y'all the image of what's behind that red balloon because it shocked me when it came out. But any more thoughts on Henry Bowers?
At this show, Pennywise wasn't finished with him yet. He kept him alive for that.
Right.
That's crazy too. That's crazy.
He could have finished him off as a child if he wanted to.
Right.
He very well could have, but he kept him alive and in that facility for when he needed him again.
Yep.
Yeah, that's crazy. I was just so shocked that he didn't slaughter the whole facility. I said, they just running amok up in this facility right here. What is really going on?
Exactly.
I don't think it's, like Kay said, I don't think it's no rehabilitation going on in this place. All these people looking cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I said, wait a minute. People just,
yeah, you see why little Lily would be afraid to go up in there?
Now I see why she didn't want to snitch him. She said, listen, I ain't trying to go back up in here. Listen, I don't mean for your daddy to get locked up, girl, but I ain't trying to go up in here.
Go back there. I can't go
Listen,
back.
I gave little Lily a hard time too. Well, I think I cussed her out almost.
Pretty much. And but yeah, so and then this is crazy because how you dead and you bring in this man a knife? Like what? Like what are we doing here? What is going on? Stephen King, sir, I am so confused. Anybody else in the chat was confused by the unalived individual, the unalived friend who tried to burn it and end up getting himself burned, how he was able to actually pass over an actual real knife. I know it was TV and I know it was a movie, but any thoughts in the chat, y'all just let us know, okay? At least let Tika know because Tika is so confused.
Yep, y'all know the day that Henry walked into his house and stabbed his dad in the neck, I believe he's been possessed by Pennywise since then. Like he's been in his head ever since then. So a lot of the things that at this point that Henry is seeing and hearing is all what Pennywise want him to see and hear.
That makes sense.
That's all it can be because Patrick, what's that, Hockstock, whatever his name is, he gone. He gone.
Been gone.
Okay, been gone.
Yep, for sure. Let's see. Before we get to the grand meeting, let me go ahead and see if we have some comments. Again, thank you guys for tuning in. We absolutely appreciate you all. Please subscribe to all channels involved. You have Talk That Talk Media up here. You got Cape Live Slice of Horror, EJ TV Junkie Reviews, as well as All Things Ruthless. And what's your channel on over there on Facebook, Kay?
The Fifth Wall, my media company, Fifth Wall Studios, y'all. It's streaming. I finally figured out how to get in Facebook.
Hey,
that's about 2 years.
Hey, you worked it out.
It took like 30 minutes to get in there, but I'm back in. I'm back in under Fifth Wall, my media company. So
gotcha.
Y'all, the good bit of people that already follow me on Facebook. I'm streaming over there now. Finally. So
gotcha. Yeah, I should have known the V was fifth. What was I thinking? Acting like I don't know Mormon numerals, okay? What's up, Lemon Kush Pepper? Thank you for coming through. Shout out to Demetria Richburg. Thank you for coming through. CT, thank you for being here. Do as Lemon Kush Pepper says, like, comment, subscribe, share to all the ladies' channels. Please and thank you, okay? And let's see, EJ said Mike said he was going to be Captain Save Him. He definitely was Captain Save Him, EJ. He was definitely that. And I'm like, bruh, come on now. We can't save everybody. What's up, Super Mario Can? I ain't going to even read all them other numbers, but thank you for coming through. What's up, West Coast Barbara? Hello, thank you for being here. Super Mario has a comment. Here's my theory for it's the prequel, also known as Welcome to Derry. Okay, here it is. Okay. I believe episode 5 might show the shocking secret how Pennywise became Pennywise. Well, if you I'll let Kay answer this, but in my opinion, if you kind of watch this particular movie, it kind of gives a piece of a backstory to how Pennywise became Pennywise, not just the ending. Never mind. Kay, do you have an answer for that? A statement? Because I might be way off. I'm not the resident. Muted.
You are muted.
I didn't even see that because the mouse was over there. Yes, they've already been giving us little Easter eggs of how he's becoming Pennywise, and so there's a lot more stories that there's a lot more to the story that's there from when the General Francis was a child. There's a lot more. There's some characters that we done seen that they ain't had a name yet. That's gonna be there. So I'm not sure if they're gonna wrap it all in episode 5, but it's all of the pieces to the puzzle are already there. It's just about putting it together for everybody to like, oh, okay, now everything makes sense. But they've already given us all the pieces.
Right. Because I'm gonna say it when we get to that slide. But yes, okay, absolutely. I got you. Thank you all for engaging. We absolutely appreciate it. And we are at the meeting. So everybody has finally decided, everybody except one unfortunately has decided that they're gonna go to the dinner. And now they're trying to kind of remember. They're slowly but surely getting their memory back. So I guess as soon as they stepped into that area code and into this whole restaurant, things started coming back to them. They were making it make sense. But then they get this little note that says, damn it, what's the name? Something, what was it? Eddie, was it Eddie? Wait a minute. I'm sorry, y'all. I had it in my brain. I had it together. But he couldn't cut it. Stanley couldn't cut it.
I guess Stanley could not.
Guess Stanley could not cut it. Yeah. Guess Stanley could not cut it. And they're like, what the hell that's supposed to mean? Because at this point, they don't even know that Stanley has, taken himself out of the game. Okay. And so the next thing you know, we got these little baby. Listen, I would never eat another shrimp ever again. I don't know what the heck that baby head was. And then you got an eyeball crawling across the table. It's almost as if they're hallucinating, but they really see what they see. But everybody else in the restaurant just thinks they're whole panicking, freaking out. EJ, talk to me about the shenanigans in this whole restaurant. That moment was crazy. And the fact that they were slowly but surely getting some of their memory of Derry back.
Girl, I'm so overseeing these little baby things. Like, this look like that little thing that we saw over there on It Welcome to Derry. And I didn't appreciate it. The little wings, all the stuff. Every time I see something like this, all I think about is little Susie, because she didn't deserve that. I'm sorry. Po Susie. Po doggone Susie. So, there's that. Y'all know we on episode 3, so we got to get to episode 4 so we can see all these revelations that y'all are talking about, because we don't know. We still on episode 3, so when we get to episode 4, apparently there's going to be a bunch of revelations. Tikadooshi. Okay. So we got to, once we get there, we'll be able to speak. Well, how Candy say it? Speak on it.
Okay, well, we'll definitely speak on it. Any thoughts, Kay, on the restaurant shenanigans? Because this was just crazy. And then that little, so clearly it, like you said, it was already in the mind of Stanley. It already knew that Stanley wasn't going to be able to make it. And so it literally came to the table to throw that in their face. But again, at that moment, they didn't even know what happened to Stanley.
I hate to break it to you, EJ, but you're gonna see some more little baby things in episode.
Whoa, God.
But yeah, Pennywise is just like, I just want y'all to know, since y'all coming back, I got something for y'all. In the 1990s movie, there was a scene where I think it was with Bill, and he was outside the window, and he had dug graves for everybody, and one of them, was like already covered up, and it had the other graves empty. Like, Pennywise was standing outside, like, I got something for all of y'all.
Just taunting folks.
Exactly. I got something for all of y'all. So no, this was just like, this is just the appetizer for more to come, because he want them to be at their maximum level of fear first. He's like, y'all ain't scared enough yet, But I'm just wanting to toss this out there so I can start my torturing of y'all, because apparently Stanley was easy. So the rest of y'all, I'm gonna get then. I think, and that's Stanley was at his peak level of fear,
right?
So he's like, I got something for the rest of y'all. So yeah, come on, little baby things.
At the end of the day, you won't catch me in another Chinese restaurant, and not after this. I'm gonna move forward on this one. I want to talk about this last, but it's about that time. It's about to go down again because Looney Tune has escaped the bin, and we talking about Henry Bowers. He has escaped, and he has taken a few people out along the way. But now in his mind is saying, "I gotta get them." Like he says, "I gotta finish the fight." And I'm just like, what you mean you gotta finish the fight, bro? Who even invited you to a fight? You know, he has that thought in his mind, and so he ends up going after oh Jesus, he ends up going after Mike. I'm like, dang, how you get to Mike that quick? We also see a moment where he ends up poking Rich in the cheek, or not Rich, Stanley, Eddie in the cheek. Like he was doing a lot. It was just a lot going on, a lot of bits and moves and pieces, and we get into the fight, y'all, because this movie was 3 hours long. So we gonna skip the little potatoes that was in the middle and get to the meat of it. This is the whole fight. We have the Henry being carved, or the name and words being carved into Ben's stomach. We got it taunting folks. He sent them down this portal of their thoughts, their fears. Like there was just a whole lot of stuff going on. I don't know which one of y'all want to go first about this the battle, not the win. We're not gonna get to the win just yet, just the actual battle where they go through, they got to choose different doors, and they also got to get their tokens. They also have to go and get these different tokens. And in my mind, I was like, token? What the heck you mean token? Are you talking about bringing back some fear, bringing back some paper? Like what tokens are you referring to? And we see them do that. We see one bring back a coin. We see two of them bring back notes or pieces of paper that have notes on them. We see the rock that was used to bust Henry Bowers in his head. I remember that distinctively. And of course, we get his asthma pump. Like, why you putting that man? But those were things that they feared, or how would you explain it, Kay? How would you explain the things, the tokens or artifacts that they had to bring back to try to use this to help get rid of Mr. It himself? Muted.
Why do I keep doing that?
It's okay.
That was the way of trying to explain explain more of the lore of how the natives were able to contain him. I also think of it, I don't know how many of y'all watch From, but y'all know if you watch From, they have the talisman that they put around their little area so that the monsters can't come in certain places, that they put on the doors and the windows, and that they need some weaken it, and something that shows that they're weakening it, they know how to defeat it, and that they're all going to stick together. And I think that this was them kind of like embellishing on the lore of the entity itself, and how you can actually defeat it for real, because they thought that they did the last time, but all they did was weaken it enough that its feeding cycle was over. But it wasn't gone itself. But handling it in a way of taking like the Native Americans did, taking shards of the star that it came from, and being able to put up these symbols to say, you can't pass this, we can contain you and put you away, and you can't get to us anymore. And of course, Pennywise don't want nobody to know the history of himself. So that, he's like, once you start doing that and you start showing that you're not afraid, it weakens him.
Gotcha.
As it should. Dang on, Pennywise doing too much.
Because EJ said she ain't afraid of nothing.
Girl, and I'm not, girl.
That's what she said. Now her blanket might tell you something different.
Okay.
But she said.
Oh God.
Listen, I plead the fifth. Sometimes I get scared.
But EJ, what you think about? And yeah, we all get scared because your girl was shaking over here too. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna front. But when he been experimenting with the natives. Mike has been kicking it with the natives. He been getting high with the natives. He been, they've been opening his mind to all of the secrets and the alien that once came down and we had captured it at one time, and then but it didn't work because he's saying, it didn't work for them because they didn't believe. So, you have any, particular thoughts on just Mike kicking it with the natives and learning some of the secrets?
I got some thoughts. I do. So, first thought was I need Mike to chill out, okay? Because the way I would have cussed Mike the hell out when I learned. Can I talk about that part when I learned that he learned all this stuff from the doggone natives and that he didn't even it actually didn't work? Like, don't be having us out here doing this stuff and then it didn't. Don't leave out nothing in this story, Mike. I done brought my happy self all the way from where I was at, minding my business, to come out here. And then you done talk me into doing all of this, and now you want to give me a half doggone story? Like, tell me the whole thing so I know what I'm walking into and how this is gonna be. Talking about I needed y'all. No, Mike. No, I need you to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So help you God, okay? Because this is not what we finna do. Like, don't be playing with me like that. Mike had pissed me off. I said, Mike, now come on now. I get it, but dang, you could. Lives on the line, Mike. Lives on the line. But I love that he did his research. I love that he went, that he really tried to figure out what this really was and where it came from, so that if this ever did happen again, there would be some plan of action. Just because it wasn't the greatest doesn't mean that it, he I was here for that part. Yeah. Then that part only.
Yeah. He was here for, he was down with the cause for sure for 27 years. Eat, sleep, breathe, nothing but dairy history, listening to the radio in case something sounds suspicious. Let me pop up and go. Like, how you even get to move into the library, bro? Like, how was there an apartment upstairs for you to live in the library? Like, that's some serious dedication. But Mike, like EJ said, he should have brought the full story, but I guess in his mind, maybe he was thinking, if I give them the full story, they're not going to want to, they won't believe me, or they won't do it. They just won't show up for me or show up for this whole thing. Any particular thoughts, Kay, on Mike and his, his sleeping with the wolves, his life with the natives?
Somebody had to do their research because he knew there was more of the story. And as children, they didn't know like any really of the, they tried to figure out what was going on and did the best that they could. But Mike, especially coming from the founders, the parents and his ancestry line,
right,
knowing that they've dealt with this entity before, he wanted to know, like, y'all, I need to know everything. I need to know what my dad knew. I need to know what my granddad knew. I need to know how we got to this place. How do we get here? What is this? Because they didn't know all of this information. And again, they did the best that they could to get rid of it for that amount of time. But as Mike started to see this was a repeated thing. So just because you get rid of it, they thought one time, is something that keeps coming back. It's just like, how do we stop it from keep coming back if we don't even know what it is and where it came from? So somebody had to go do their research.
Yeah. Yeah. And it had to be the black man. I mean, and it had to be Mike. So he did that. I'm not, I ain't mad. Save everybody. Okay, Mr. Old Spice, Mr. Sampson from Cross. Let's not play with it. Okay, he did his thing. But shout out to him. But yeah, that baffled me because again, 27 years worth of research, eat, sleep, and breathe. So at the end, we're gonna talk about it. We're almost there of what happens once they do what they're gonna do. And as like I said, it was literally placing them in their moments of their fear. He plays Bev in like a bathroom with the blood. I'm like, come on, Carrie, with the scene. But he placed her in there where she was taunted, and it's almost like reflecting on that time she had her cycle in chapter, was it the first book or the first It? Like it was just a lot, and her daddy was banging on the door, like all these evil, mean bullies, and all the things were going on with her. And then we had Mike, and he told Mike, what did he say about his abs? What was the point of you got all them abs? What, I can't remember what it told Mike as Mike was being smothered and suffocated down into the dirt. Anybody remember what it said to Mike? I liked his abs, by the way, but yeah.
I don't remember exactly what he said, but I do like the fact that it got a sense of humor, because it really do.
Yeah. And it also messed with, as always, it messed with Bill. It messed with his mind about how, you left your brother, and it made him feel guilty. And, there was that was, listen, he had to beat him one way or another. He tried to defeat him, but, then Bill is like, it was all my fault. It was all my fault that, that you drowned, or that you got snatched up, I should say, by it. Like this, he was talking to his brother, but then he ends up having to take it and take him under. He had to give him a little baptizing. Okay. Why does it legs look like spider legs? I'm just like, what is going on here? I think it's the alien entity factor, and I'm gonna just leave it at that. But you got a clown face and a big alien body, so I'm gonna put 2 and 2 together, and we're gonna hope that that's what it is.
Well, that's what it looked like in the 1990s movie, like when the losers got older and they went to the cave to defeat it. They didn't find Pennywise, they found this giant ass spider. Wow. Now they didn't go full on giant spider like they did in the 90s movie, but I think that's kind of like paying homage to the creature, that because that was in my first impression of it is that Pennywise was just a conduit for this damn giant ass spider. That was like the real thing that was down there in the cave. So they didn't want us to believe like that's its only form, right? But the losers in the 90s, like that was like its final form.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
Yep, and exactly why I'm not going to watch it 1990, because I'm good on that. I don't like spiders.
No, you gotta watch the old version. You gotta watch it.
I'm gonna let Tika watch it, and she'll tell me about
it. But what we do finally see is that Ben finally reveals to Beverly that I was the one that wrote the note or wrote the poem to you, because this whole time she was thinking that Bill was the one that had wrote her this whole love note. She done halfway kissed him and everything throughout this whole process, but and not giving Ben and not giving him his credit. And so they finally revealed that when she's going under and he's darn near suffocated under this dirt, and he says that the air is winter fire and January embers. Like he was giving all the love, and she was like, "Oh, that was you." And then, and at the same time, it was telling Ben that you gonna basically be unalived alone. Like he was telling him all of those things. And then we also see a moment where what y'all call them, the beamers, the headlights. I don't know why I can't remember the word, but Rich ends up going to the deadlights. He has one of those, and I'm like, well, what did he see? Because they don't give us that, but he was taken through there. So any particular thoughts on these moments right here, y'all? and last but not least, also we get Rich, and Rich gets poked trying to save, I mean not Rich, but Ed. I don't know why they don't look alike. Eddie is again poked by one of the claws or legs of it, trying to save his friend. Any thoughts, y'all? And he get taken out to the king.
Take me to the king. Listen, I don't know. Like, Paul Eddie, like, I really didn't have that in the play. I just thought everybody would make it, like, wishfully thinking. Like, I get it. But I was like, maybe Stan was enough, you know, like maybe Stan was enough and maybe everybody else is just going to make, especially after he got poked and he didn't die right then. Like, you know, they gave us like a little bit of hope. And I was like, oh, okay, he gonna make it. I mean, this man that got stabbed in the face made it. I was like, come on now. He gonna make it. And then he just don't even make it. And I'm just like, well, damn. Now, you know, we'll never know. We'll never know if he really loved that woman that he over there married to. We'll never know.
Okay. Only EJ. Yeah, we'll never know. We'll never know.
It might not the way that, you know, because we ain't gonna skip over Richie and Eddie. Okay. we ain't gonna skip over that friendship and Pennywise saying, I'm gonna tell you a secret.
Oh yeah, that's at the end. I got you.
Okay, we ain't gonna skip over that. But yeah, he and you know, everybody ain't gonna make it to the end sometimes. Actually, we need a few deaths for the plot. I need a few people to head, you know, to go. Sorry it had to be, you know, good old Eddie, but
yeah,
you know, somebody had to go. Pennywise was ready. He wasn't ready for the losers last time, but he was ready for them this time.
Right. And not only was Eddie one of its victims, we also had 2 children that were victims. And I wanted to get back to these particular individuals, because if you can remember, the little girl was she was a part of the story in the very beginning. And I'm trying to figure out, like, what was her connection? Why did she have to get snatched up by it? Maybe Kate or EJ can explain that reasoning for me. But we do know that the little boy who ends up getting snatched up by it, he actually lived in Bill's home. So any thoughts and any reasoning from your perspective, Kay, as to why the little girl was taken out? Because I didn't see the connection. And if anybody's watching, if y'all know, y'all can drop your thoughts in the chat as well.
She was collateral damage for his feeding cycle, to help him get stronger. And plus, she was a perfect victim. Her parents were not paying attention to her, and all she wanted was a friend. Is that not what we saw? It was almost a recreation of what happened with Georgie. No, my family's not paying me attention right now, but I want somebody to play with. I want somebody to talk to. It was the same little thing with that little girl. And it is sad because he picks the children who are like the cutest, sweetest, most vulnerable people that nobody is even paying attention to, that they are complicit in allowing this to happen. Because why are you not watching your child in this environment? Why are you letting them go off by themselves at this young age,
right,
where anything and everything could happen to them? And he knows that the adults in this town are like that. And it was just like, okay, since we kicked the last cycle off with Georgie, let's do something. Let's go and kick it off again with another little innocent, unsuspecting child.
Gotcha.
This was diabolical. They didn't have to do this. This was worse than any other deaths in the thing.
Oh, yeah, but that little boy's death was terrifying.
That was wrong. Do you see the way that man came, like, just like Pennywise was wrong for that. Like, the way the little girl thought she was about to get rid of her little mark. Like, she thought she was like, okay, I'm gonna trust you. And I was like, girl, like, follow your first mind, like, stranger danger. You know, and I was just like, oh, okay. Like, and it's just so crazy because I do feel like they do this thing where they make you like these kids. Because I keep telling y'all, I swear I will never let go of Susie. Susie is forever embedded in my mind. I don't care about them other kids, but Susie, listen, just didn't have to do it. Susie wasn't bothering nobody, okay? I know she ain't got nothing to do with this one right here, but damn it, Susie stays on my mind. And this kind of reminded me of that, like, I said, it is a little girl. She had won a little teddy bear earlier when the dude gave her the teddy. I said, oh, they wanted us to, like, be like, oh, she's so cute. Like, they wanted us to really, really like this little girl. And just at this moment when he just bite her face off, you just like, wow, Pennywise was just wrong for that.
Yeah. And that was a perfectly bad behind kid. Before you even see her with the poor baby girl with the mark, before you even see her, there was a perfectly bad, busy kid just running around doing whatever. They had to snatch him up and take him, back up to the ramp. And you like Kay say, you choose the most innocent, They make us fall in love with these characters just that quickly, and then he takes them out. And he, like he was about to say, Kay, he definitely did. The little boy that lived in Bill's home, he did him dirty because, first of all, you know what? I'm gonna just be transparent with y'all. Those places, those rooms, those
the House of Mirrors.
I never ever as a child. I went in it one time and never went back in there because I'm like, I'm lost for real. Like they had to come there and get me. Like that's how lost I was. So I was just my anxiety for this little boy was literally moving around in me while he's trying to figure out how to get out this freaking house. And then you got this darn clown on the opposite side just ready to pounce on him. I thought that was crazy.
And poor Bill had to witness the whole thing and couldn't do nothing. It's like he thought another child almost passing on his watch.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
I didn't care nothing about Bill. I'm sorry. I was just real focused on how they done bit that baby face off. Like, I mean, how they just bit, not the face, how he just swallowed him whole. I said, and this little baby just cute, and you up here getting mad at Bill talking about why you following me, little boy. Listen, dang.
Yeah.
Why you ain't feel bad for Bill? He had to witness it. He had to watch Pennywise eat a whole child in front of him.
Right.
But did he die? Ken?
And then it was just a matter of him imagining what actually happened when his brother got snatched up. You know what I mean? I felt for Bill.
He'll be all right. He'll be all right.
Bill does take responsibility because just like I said, Bill reminds me of Butcher on The Boys, where Butcher don't care about really nobody's feelings. He just want everybody to gather with him. Like, I ain't saying not everybody because he likes Huey, but he wants, if I say let's go do something, I need y'all to come on because it's about what I need. It's about what I want to do, you know. So that's what Bill was giving as a child, and he acknowledges that. Listen, excuse me, hold on.
Okay. Oh, good. Okay, drink that water, girl. Go ahead. Okay, do that thing. Listen, they done choke Tika out. You see that? You muted, boo boo.
Oh, I said that's Pennywise coming after Tika.
Okay, yeah. Pennywise said you need to get this story right. You need to get it accurate. Okay, nope.
Pennywise coming after my ass, but at the end of the day, you know, I had the empathy. That's all I had the empathy for, you know, and that's why he reminds me of Butcher. My point. Right. But at the end of the day, y'all, talk about what like, yeah, I just, you know, sometimes I get in your throat. I'm good. But
okay.
They end up finally winning the fight. They had to crush his heart. Kay, talk to us about that moment where it all went down.
You know, although we lost some people along the way. We lost some. They had to tap into that same spirit that they had when they were kids because he was going at them from all sides. Like he was coming out. He came after Bill with the little boy. He came out with Bev with that old lady. That was the scene there when that old lady popped up in that house. So he was like trying to weaken everybody. When he came after Richie, telling them like, I know your secret. So he's trying to get the fear in all of them. And it was like in this moment where it's just like, y'all, we have to remember what we are, who we are, and we have to remember the things that Mike told us to defeat him. Like we're separately, he's going to get us. Separately, he got it. The fear comes in when we're not together. The fear comes in where he's playing on the things that he got us with in our childhood. We're not kids anymore. We're grown. We survived him one time and we can survive him again. And they had to remember that part because as soon as they stepped foot in Derry, immediately their minds went back to childhood trauma. It's almost as if like they regressed and forgot that they were these successful adults who lived these pretty good lives. They came back to Derry and the fear came, the trauma came, the anxiety came, and Pennywise was like, cool, that's where I needed you to be. And they kind of had to have a come to Jesus moment where it's just like, all right, y'all. We're going to have to remember who we are and let's take them down once and for all this time. And I like that something happened at the end of this movie. that did not happen in the previous cycles. At the end of this movie, that house that's over his cave collapsed to kind of show us that they might actually have done something differently than all of that anybody who tried to defeat him in the previous cycles have before.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. That was crazy. And the whole, like you said, they went through all the different, different case scenarios. These were the artifacts. I'm sorry, I forgot to pull these images up for y'all, but they went through the process of getting these artifacts. They went through, and this was cameo moment real quick, because I'm kind of backtracking, but cameo moment with Stephen King making his way on the scene. I was excited just to see him. And I'm like, he still looked like that same damn weirdo that we've been talking about. But he's an intelligent weirdo. I'm not mad at him. He was on that stuff they said. But, just for him to tell him, because he asked him, do you want me to autograph your book? No, the ending sucked. I'm like, really? The shade, like you mentioned earlier, the shade was there. I'm sorry, y'all. I had to backtrack. I just wanted to give y'all those moments and all of the things, like you were saying, Kay, they played on their mind. Shout out to the girl at the pharmacy who was mean as hell, who actually gave them the name Loser on his cast. And yeah, and then we talk about the Rich and the Eddie situation. Now, he started writing the R plus the, but we never see that. But when we do get to the end, y'all, because they end up, as she said, they end up defeating it for the last time. They literally crush his little soul, and I'm hoping there's no return for it. You see him, his little face kind of moving around, and like he's dissolving back to this little bunch of nothing. And after they defeat him, they make their way over to their final jump, y'all, into this whole lake, creek, pit, whatever you want to call it. They go there to wash off, basically, because how are we going to explain all of the nastiness that we just experienced, and who's going to actually believe us? So, any particular thoughts on the last moments? And oh yeah, I'm sorry. This is what we needed to talk about. Okay, I do apologize, y'all. Okay, so Eddie writes a love letter basically to his friends, saying, I'm sorry I couldn't be there for you guys, in a nutshell, but live your life, be who you are. And we see where this man, he finished the E, like Rich plus Eddie. So any particular thoughts? Do you think there was any potential, even though Eddie had a wife, do you think there would have been a potential relationship had he not gone to the world?
To the upper room. I personally don't think so, but I don't know. I mean, it was cute.
Y'all seen Brokeback Mountain?
Oh,
I refused to look at the Brokeback Mountain. I didn't look at it. I didn't want to know.
Nicking and creeping, huh? Okay, that would have been some nicking and creeping. Oh, wow. Oh, so they did that in the book?
I mean, I'm just saying though. Say you was like just saying, he had a wife was gonna be possible. I'm just saying.
Gotcha.
People have made a way. Stranger things have happened.
True. So that was one of the ending moments after they finally go back to their normal lives.
I got a question.
Oh yeah, go ahead, EJ.
So that was Eddie who wrote that letter?
Yes.
Girl, I thought that was Stan who wrote that letter. I thought he had wrote
Stanley. Wait. It was Stanley. Stanley was the one that died, right?
Yeah. Girl, so you see me, I'm like,
he did. You know what? I got it confused. But he wrote.
Okay, girl, I was tripping. You good.
No.
I said, dang.
Stanley wrote the letter, but that made him feel free to go off and basically be himself. Like before, basically he was, I think Kay mentioned this a while ago about him being closeted, like not really letting anybody know, like not really out, you know what I mean? But yeah. Anyway, that just threw me off too. I don't know why I put the E. Who the hell is Eddie? But he in love with Eddie, or is he in love with Stanley? Like Because he
No,
went
no,
to
no, no.
what threw me off is because he went to Stanley's when he was going to the bar mitzvah. That's what threw me off.
Okay, because I was talking about the letter. The E is clearly Eddie on the little thingy, but I was
Right.
talking about the letter. I thought the letter was from Stanley, and he wrote one to
Yeah.
everybody, letting them know why he took himself. You know.
Yeah, the letter was from Stanley, right here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
He
that's
is-
okay.
Yeah. Oh,
Because
see,
I'll be watching with my eyes closed, and then I'll be
oh,
opening, and then I'll be closed. So I missed some stuff. So I was like, dang,
made
I
it
might
back.
have missed it.
But real quick before we wrap this thing up, because we got another lie to get to. I just want to read read D Movie Man's comments. Not the Beamers. I'm still so salty they didn't show its true appearance, especially after they basically hinted at it in the origin falling to Earth sequence. Being roasted to death is wild.
I don't know. Okay, interpretation.
Well, they say, like in the books, like the true form of the entity, and its true form, which is the dead life, is like more than what people can kind of like tolerate.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like he can't do all of his deviousness once his true form is like revealed. Like that is what, like, that's like, I need you, I'm saving, like, that's the main course. I gotta build y'all up to seeing me in my true form, because apparently, like, it's too powerful that it. And then, like, in the 1990s movie, they show us, they have a scene where Bill's wife actually sees the dead lights, and it causes her to lose her mind, and she becomes catatonic.
Oh, damn. I mean,
Yeah, like, and that's why I remember in part one, when, even though Bev wasn't afraid of him, she saw them dead lights, and immediately she was out of there.
Yeah.
So he's like, no, I got to save y'all. Like, that's it. Like, I'm giving y'all appetizers. Y'all can get these dead lights as the main course, because y'all can't just be out here. I need y'all to wait on that. This is the finale.
Okay, I got you.
Unless it's for a higher purpose now. And been in the 1990s movie, he showed Bill's wife the dead lights just to instill more fear in Bill first.
Okay, cool. That's why we have the expert here. Okay.
Because we ain't know.
And last comment, not so fun fact, my mom, sister, and I ended up making our way through the end of a mirror maze, only to find out we had gone right back to the beginning. The struggle was real. Oh, I feel you. You'll never catch me in another one. Ever. Any of y'all ever been in the mirror maze and struggled to get out, or even just went in one and actually successfully made it out? I know EJ.
Ask that question, okay? You know my answer. You ain't even got to ask me.
I don't remember getting lost in the House of Mirrors, but I've been in them before. Because I like, it looks fun. You get the ones that like warp like your image and stuff like that. It'd be fun.
Yeah, they have museums for that now. You don't have to go through all these mazes and things, so you can just go to the museum. So I'll do it at the museum.
Sometimes you got to go back to the classics,
No, I'm good. I appreciate the thoughts, but I'm good. But y'all, with that being said, we do see some things have changed for a few people, and we have Bev and Ben, and they are officially a couple, as they should have been all along. Okay. But I'm glad she got away from that abusive man that she was married to. I'm sure once he revealed how he truly felt about her, she was able to be more open and honest. And, I'm sure, I mean, in my mind, he's going to be the perfect gentleman, take his time with her, not really, really rush, but just, say, hey, I loved you always, and I'll continue to wait, because he literally waited for her. Any last thoughts on their relationship, their newfound friendships?
He waited long enough, Bev. Don't have that man wait no more. Just go ahead. He done waited long enough, kept that doggone note in his pocket all that time. Let's just get over it. We good.
Yep.
I'm throwing Bev out there. I got Ben's best interest in heart right now.
You know, but he was, let him have the thing that he's been waiting on. Okay, he was waiting 27 years for this.
Right.
Mhm.
Really. Literally 27 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, don't keep that man waiting no more.
And something else that also threw me off, and I'm sure I know Kay got an explanation. Help your girl out. At the end, we see them standing. They're standing in the front of the mirror or in the window, and you see them as children. So they're adults, but then you see them as children. And then the next thing you know, you go to Bill writing a whole book. So is he writing the book based off of his memory, or was this whole thing just a book?
Well, he takes his memories and tries to put them in a book. I think that this time that he's writing a book and he's now actually conscious of what's happening. Because before he was writing all these novels from these dreams and nightmares and things that he was having, and because he didn't know what was going on because of his repressed memories. But I think now he might give him a solid story now with a good ending after he done been shaded for his own literature. He's like, I bet you this will have a good ending. How about that?
Okay, that part. So I guess the answer would technically be no, it wasn't a book the whole time. That shit really happened.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that ish really happened. I'm trying to stop cussing.
But at least with this one, he's still continuing to do his job as a writer. But I think it's showing that he's going to write from a place more of I know now, I understand now.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Which is good because they was hating on him in them endings. Even his own wife, that was messed up. I said, dang, girl, hype your man up.
Yeah.
That's he said, I got an ending for y'all ass this time.
Okay. And he was like, you let me write this foolishness for 8 years and didn't tell me the truth. Like, and don't be out here cheating on your wife either, Bill. We saw you kissing on Bev, okay?
I forgot about that.
Yeah. Don't be playing. You got a whole wife, but yeah. Finally, he gets the perfect ending to his story. And he got a lot he gonna have a lot of, he could have like 20 different endings at this point with all of what he's able to remember and experience. That could be like 20 more books in his world. So, but y'all,
let's say 1,100 pages long.
1,100.
Why?
Who gonna read 1,100? Nobody but Kay and EJ. Not me. I will add.
I'm pointing at Kay.
Where the Audible at? Okay.
I do got the Audible.
Okay.
I got 44 hours on deck. I'm thinking about reading it, listening to it.
It'll take me about 2 weeks to listen to it, but I'll do my best. But with that being said, y'all, we are finally wrapping this thing up. This was a 3-hour movie, and I tried my best to break it down as much as I could, even though I lost my train of thought. But I trying to break it down as much as I could so that you guys could kind of get a full understanding about how it all went down on It Chapter 2. The 2019 edition, you can find it pretty much anywhere, but go to I'm not gonna plug the free apps. But anyway, go watch it and then come back. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know how you felt about all things It, y'all. With that being said, though, any final thoughts, Kay? And let us know what you have coming up on your channel. And then, of course, my girl EJ, you can do the wrap up for me. Did you like the balloon though, EJ? That balloon was just for you.
I know you did that. And I was like, she was wrong for that.
I know, right?
I'm so sick of these balloons.
Shout out to Sora with the balloon background, okay?
I've been fully immersed into the Stephen King world with finally was able to talk about all 3 of the movies and all fully immersed into Welcome to Derry series. I'm loving it. It's like one of my favorite TV shows of this year. So definitely I love jumping back into It Chapter 2 because I'm trying to think, did I talk about this movie when it first came out? I can't even remember, y'all. I don't even remember. I feel like I did, but it might have been like a long time ago. But it was nice to come back and like rewatch it. My mom is like hopped back into this world because she watched the movie that came out in the 90s, but she hadn't seen the 2017, 2019 ones. hopping back in there. So I appreciated coming back and revisiting things and actually rewatching it now that Welcome to Derry is out and looking how the people were very, very conscious of how they wrap the story around so that everything makes sense. So definitely on the channel, I have a whole playlist for the It movies and Welcome to Derry. So if you miss anything, come to the channel, look into my playlist, and you'll find all the reviews there, recapping Stranger Things seasons to prepare for the new season 5. What else? There's a review of Frankenstein, review of Predator Badlands, and we just wrapped up Reasonable Doubt. So make sure you hit like and subscribe, y'all. It's a lot of horror, a lot of nerdy stuff, but I also watch any damn thing. Okay. I watch any and every damn thing. So it's just a lot. It's a variety over here.
Absolutely. Make sure y'all are subscribing over there at K Live at Slice of Life or Slice of Horror. Okay. Quit playing.
It ain't life. It's horror.
It's horror life. She living that horror life. Listen, she got it on the wall and everything. Okay. I'm not bad at that.
She said Frankenstein. I mean, Frankenstein did like it might be interesting though. I was gonna give it a look.
Actually, it is. It's definitely not horror at all. If anything, it's drama. It's literally.
Oh, I like a good drama.
Yeah, he's in this Netflix movie. Frankenstein is he's not a monster. The monster is the Victor Frankenstein, the one who created the creature. He's not like terrifying at all. If anything, he's just like this innocent like creation of a person. So it's actually a really sweet movie.
Nice.
Okay, well then I might have to check that out because I'm gonna need something, to help me with all the scariness that we've been dabbling into. Okay, because it is not for the weak. Okay, and they ain't playing over there in them Derry streets.
Not at all.
Okay, not at all. So yeah, listen, first and foremost, thank you, Kay, for coming and walking us through all of this horror stuff because we don't know. So we definitely appreciate that. And like Tika said, please make sure that everybody you go over and subscribe to Kay as well. Make sure that you over there in all them horror streets and all the other stuff because she has a ton of stuff over there. She always talking about a lot of things, so definitely check her out. And then as far as TV Junkie is concerned, we just did the family business. So if you want to see the panel, you can go and check out the panel. I have my solo review as well. We just finished Reasonable Doubt. Poe Ozzy, may he rest in peace. Definitely go check that out. And then we also just did Power Book 4 Force over here on TDT. So check that out. Hopefully Kay will be joining us officially for Power Book 4 Force. So we'll be doing that on Fridays, y'all. So please come and hang out with us for Power Book 4 Force. And then we talked about Married at First Sight, I think yesterday. So we are finishing that one up. And then we just have one more episode to be done with these couples. And then we done with them. So definitely check that out if you're into Married at First Sight. And then right after this, we'll be talking about Talamasca. This was a really good episode, so can't wait to talk about that. And then on Wednesday, we'll be talking about Friends and Lovers. So if you have not checked that out, that's on Lifetime right now with Naturi Naughton. I can't think of his name. Issa Rae, crazy boyfriend. He got help though. He ended up going to therapy and stuff.
Nathan?
Pretty eyes. Yeah, Nathan. Yeah. That was my dude right there. So definitely check that out. It's really good. They got Rodrigo in it too. You can't never listen. Rodrigo over there in them streets.
Oh, wait, that's the show from the Eric Jerome Dickey. Wait, where this streaming at?
Yeah, this on Lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
It's on Lifetime. And then of course we have All Is Fair coming up on Thursday. And then I think that's it. I think I covered everything that we have coming up. And hopefully next week we'll be able to drop more reaction videos. So definitely make sure y'all check those out. And and that's it. And guys, listen, if you're watching this on a replay, please make sure to go ahead and let us know what you thought about it. Part 2. Let us know if you were scared at all. Let us know if this balloon is freaking you out, like it's freaking me out. Y'all is throwing me off and everything. Let me know what y'all think about it. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do all the things, guys. If you've been watching us and watching our reactions, please make sure to head on over to Patreon if you want to see our fully unedited reactions. We have tons of them up over there on Patreon. We would love if you consider being a member over there as well. And we're about to get up out of here. We appreciate each and every one of y'all, and y'all have a good night.
Peace.
Talk that. Talk that. Talk that. Talk that. Talk that. Talk